This message is based on Psalm 95, verses 1 through 7. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. For the Lord is the great God, the great King above all gods. In his hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. We live in a world overflowing with blessings. But how grateful are we for those blessings? We have more comforts, conveniences, and choices than any generation before us, and yet people complain more than ever. It's not that we don't have things to be thankful for, it's that we often forget the giver of every good thing. Psalm 95 is God's invitation to rediscover the joy of thankfulness. It is both a call to worship and a reminder of who we worship. In just 7 verses, the psalmist teaches us how to express gratitude and why thanksgiving is vital to our spiritual life. The Zessing Psalm begins with an invitation. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. Notice that thankfulness begins with an invitation. God is calling his people to come near. True thanksgiving is not silent or distant, it's expressive and joyful. The psalmist says, "Let us sing, let us make a joyful noise. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving." Thanks and worship is not simply sitting in church. It's more than that. It's a personal response to God's goodness. The word come here literally means come forward with purpose. It's a movement of the heart. God doesn't just want songs from our lips. He wants praise that flows from grateful hearts. Is not just a quiet feeling, it's a public declaration of God's greatness. When you realize how much he has done for you, silence becomes impossible. Gratitude is not about performance, it's about praise. You may not have the best voice, but if your heart is full of thankfulness, God delights in your song. How often do we enter God's presence with complaining rather than thanksgiving? You may have noticed on our table at the back of the church is written Psalm 100, verse 4. It says, "Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise." This should be our disposition when we enter the church. Verses 3 through 5, we see the reason we can be thankful. For the Lord is the great God, the great King above all gods. In his hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Our thanksgiving is not baseless. Rather, our thankfulness has a strong foundation. It is rooted in who God is. The psalmist gives us 3 reasons for gratitude. He is a great God. He alone is creator, sustainer, redeemer. He holds the universe together. When we see his greatness, how can we not be thankful? He is sovereign. He is king over all. In a world of uncertainty, God reigns supreme. He is sovereign over history, nations, and even the details of your life. When you feel overwhelmed, remember, your king is on the throne. He is creator. The psalm paints a picture of God's hands shaping mountains, seas, and dry land. Everything you see, the sunrise, the stars, the forests, the ocean waves, exists because of him. Gratitude begins with remembering that everything good starts with God. When we remember the greatness of our Creator, our hearts cannot remain indifferent. We can be thankful for what we have, but more importantly, we need to be thankful for who sits on the throne. Verses 6 and 7, we see the call to worship and surrender. Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. The tone of the psalm shifts from joyful singing to humble surrender. Thankfulness begins with praise, but it shifts into worship. Notice the posture. Bow down, kneel before the Lord. True gratitude doesn't just clap its hands, it bows the heart. Worship means acknowledging that everything we have and everything we are belongs to him. Parliamentary gives the reason, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. God is not only the mighty creator, he is the caring shepherd. The same hands that formed the mountains now hold his people. He provides, protects, and leads. He knows each sheep by name. The shepherd once said that sheep will not rest until they feel safe in the presence of their shepherd. When the shepherd sits down among them, they lie down in peace. In the same way, when we recognize God's presence and care, we can rest and rejoice. When you remember that you are in the shepherd's care, thankfulness becomes natural. Psalm 95 teaches us that Thanksgiving is not just a holiday, it's a way of life. We give thanks because God is great, he rules over all. God is good, he cares for us. God is gracious, he saves us. Gratitude transforms how we see the world. Instead of focusing on what we don't have, we remember what we have and who we have. When your heart is full of thanksgiving, worry and fear disappear. Psalm 95 begins with joy and ends with worship, because that's where all true thanksgiving leads, from praise on our lips to peace in our hearts. So today and every day, let your heart sing, for the Lord is a great God. He is our great shepherd, and we are his sheep.